The following is a local resident producers program. The program content is the sole responsibility of the producer and does not necessarily reflect the views or policies of Oshkosh Media, the City of Oshkosh, or Time Warner Cable.
Hello, this is Edward Caston for another edition of Making It Happen. Tonight I have Kevin Boone, along with some noisy airplanes above us because it's EAA.
Yeah, yes, we do. It's all right. It's a great week. We love the airplanes. So
what do we have in front of us here tonight?
we have a couple of our Pizza Ranch's notable things here. We have our chicken. And it is the best, some of the best around. Everybody rants and raves about our chicken all the time. And one of our most popular pizzas here, this taco pizza, that would be in our top two, definitely kind of fluctuating between number one and number two spot for most popular pizza. So they're delicious. Can't wait to eat them.
Why do you think people like the taco pizza so much?
I would say because it's a little bit unique. You know, when you think of pizza, you don't always think of taco. However, the flavors definitely go together very well. It's got some delicious taco chips on it. You know, the taco sauce is fantastic and just really, really turns out to be a great tasting pizza.
How much taco pizza do you go through in a day?
Oh, you know, I haven't counted in a while, but I believe we probably would go through maybe 25-ish on average every day of those pizzas.
25 of those pizzas?
Yep.
Because you guys put it out on... Are you just talking the buffet or are people ordering it?
Oh, that would just be the buffet. Ordering, it's hit or miss. You know, everybody has their favorite. So on the buffet, we probably go through about 25 of them in a day.
Now let's go through Pizza Ranch. Let's back up a little bit. And what do we have beside it here now? Oh, we have the chicken. Now let's backtrack a little bit. Let's go through Pizza Ranch's mission. What's the mission of Pizza Ranch?
Absolutely. So Pizza Ranch's mission is to give every guest a legendary experience. Our goal every day is to make sure that we are memorable at Pizza Ranch and that they're going to remember us and want to come back.
The one thing, because I've been there many times with my parents, friends, the one thing I remember is you guys are always so courteous, so friendly.
Yep.
Do you guys pride yourself on that?
Absolutely. You know, our guest service, we take that, you know, as a huge point where we need to make sure that we deliver on that every single day because you can go anywhere to get great food. I mean, lots of places have really great food, but to provide an awesome service where you're going to remember that and people are going to feel special, that's really what we strive to do every day.
Because I bet you some people come back in there and then they don't look at you as a waitress, but they get to know you and develop a relationship with you, and then you become friends, you know?
Absolutely. It's very much like a family. You know, we consider our entire staff and also the guests that come dine with us one big family, so...
Now, when you train somebody to work at Pizza Ranch, because, you know, there's not too many family-friendly, you know, because I think society's getting away from that. So, like, how do you train them to be friendly, or do you know, what kind of special things do you guys do to hone that family atmosphere?
Well, we have a couple different things. I mean, first and foremost, it comes down to just a focus on that in training.
Okay.
Pizza Ranch has a few guidelines that help kind of guide us for that. You know, we teach everyone from the day of orientation all the way through their training process that we need to be friendly, both to coworkers and to the guests that come in. We teach, you know, service standards and service points to make sure that, you know, they interact with their tables, how to interact with them, how to have a great conversation, and how to make sure that they feel special and that, like, they're the only table there. You know what I mean? Even though there's tables all around, they want to feel special and feel like they're the one that's getting served, you know, to the highest standard.
You guys, I know from personal experience, you guys do a really good job at that. And
thank you.
I just want to commend you for the job that you do.
Thank you.
Next, let's talk a little bit more about the menu. We talked about the taco pizza.
Yep. As
being one of the most popular. What's the second most popular?
Probably buffalo chicken. Buffalo chicken pizza would be our second most popular. And they trade spots. You know, it depends on the week, but those two are definitely our top two.
Now here's a question that came off the top of my head, because I told you I have questions, that come up on me. Have you guys ever thought about having a buffalo chicken? You know how you have your regular chicken. Have you guys ever thought about experimenting with different types of spices of chicken?
Yes, we actually do have a couple different sauce options that can go with the chicken.
Okay.
We have a buffalo sauce that we can, coat the chicken in. We have a barbecue sauce. We also have a sesame oriental, which is really popular.
Okay.
People really like that. It's got a sweeter flavor to it, and that it really changes the dynamic of the chicken. Some people prefer that as opposed to the regular chicken. You can order it any one of those ways whenever you're ordering from us, or even if you're in for the buffet, you can request to have some chicken with any of those sauces. So
if I wanted to order, I can order it with the sauce. Already on it, or can I not have it ordered that way?
you can have it ordered with the sauce already on it, and you can order it with sauce on the side. However you end up liking it, we can do it either way.
What about, because people like their ranch too.
Mm-hmm.
What about ranch?
Yeah, we haven't ever coated it with ranch, but a lot of people will get sides of ranch to go with their chicken, for dipping and that kind of thing.
Now, who was the original person who thought of Pizza Ranch?
So his name is Adrie Gruenwig, and he started the first Pizza Ranch with his parents in a small town, Hull, Iowa.
Okay.
And that was in 1981.
Okay.
And he was 19 years old at the time. And his parents and him decided to open up a Pizza Ranch. 2 years later, somebody approached them and wanted to start franchising it. And that's where it really started taking off and blowing up. And, now there's 200 plus restaurants across the Midwest.
So I guess that answers my question, because I said where was the first one, and it was Iowa, because that's where it first opened.
Yep. Yeah, Hull, Iowa was the very first Pizza Ranch, and the headquarters is currently in Orange City, Iowa. It's just a few miles up the road from Hull. So.
And they wanted to open it because.
Well, their parents and him, they really thought that the town could use some different type of concept. And Pizza Ranch was something new and unique in a lot of different ways. And they had a passion for that, and they really felt like God was calling them to create a restaurant in that town. And so they followed that calling, and here's Pizza Ranch today.
How old is Pizza Ranch?
So 1981, so what's that make us, 38 years?
38 years?
Yeah.
And you said it's just a Midwest thing, right?
Mainly a Midwest thing, yeah. So if you ever drive through Iowa, you'll see a Pizza Ranch in just about every single town. That's where it started, and that's where it kind of blew up. However, it's definitely growing. When I started with Pizza Ranch 14 years ago, there was only 2 Pizza Ranches in Wisconsin, and now there's 23. It's as far east as Michigan, as far west as Colorado. So
how far? In Wisconsin, do you see it growing even more? Is there plans for in the future for more Pizza Ranches?
Absolutely. Wisconsin is one of their growing markets, and like I said, there's 23 right now. I don't remember the exact amount, but there was probably, off the top of my head, at least 4 that opened just last year.
Okay.
And there's definitely a few more in the works, and a couple more that are scheduled to open hopefully before the end of this year.
Okay, which ones just opened last year?
So last year, Schwabenon, which is up in the west side of Green Bay, that one opened. There was one in, West Bend that opened last year, West Bend, Wisconsin.
Okay.
There was, I'm drawing a blank on the other couple, but I know there was at least 4.
Okay. So you've been with Pizza Ranch for 14 years.
I have been with Pizza Ranch for 14 years. Yep.
Did you work your way up from like a waitress to manager, or?
Yep, I have done every single position within the restaurant. When I started, I was 14 years old, and I was in charge of stocking the pizza buffet, keeping it full, fresh, for our guests. And so I came in a little early, did a little bit of the prep work for the pizzas. I made some of them, and then when the buffet started at the dinner time, I was the one putting those pizzas in the oven, making sure I had enough coming for our dinner rush needs, and getting it out on the buffet, keeping it clean, stacked, and what the guests wanted.
So what makes you keep wanting to work, getting up every day, coming back after 14 years? What makes you? Is it your passion for pizza? Is it your passion for the customers? What,
I would say I have a passion for a couple things. One, I love the restaurant industry. I got lucky finding that out early.
Okay.
I love what I do, the work that I do.
Okay.
But even more so than that, I really love the opportunity that Pizza Ranch presents for me to interact with both our guests and the lives of all of our employees. So we have, in Oshkosh here, I have, give or take, about 50 employees. A lot of them are high school or early college age, and at that point in your life, there's a lot going on. You're going through a lot of changes, that kind of thing. You're very impressionable. It's their first job for a lot of them, and I love instilling a lot of those values and just creating a great environment for them to go, because there's not always good places where you can go and hang out and spend your time, and in that point in time where you are most impressionable, I want to create a great environment.
And I'm sure that you consider, your employees your family.
Absolutely.
You treat them like family, and that's what, they expect.
Yep.
They're not there to get picked on, bullied.
Mm-hmm.
So how has this changed your life personally and professionally?
Well, I would say Pizza Ranch has been just a huge part of my life for 14 years, obviously.
How did you hear about it?
Well, I was living in Waupun, and one was opening. So when Waupun first opened, I started there. When they first opened, I was 14, and I got the job, and one thing led to another in terms of where I moved. I've worked at several pizza ranches across the state at this point.
Okay.
But it's definitely changed from a job that I had to a passion to a full-time career that I'm going to do probably the rest of my life, working life. So.
Now, if somebody wants to be a manager or even open their own franchise, for whatever reason, what kind of schooling do they have to go to? What kind of path would you suggest them to do?
Sure. So for a manager at Pizza Ranch, I would say you don't even have to necessarily have schooling. Schooling's always a plus. It's always going to set you up for success.
Yeah.
However, we have lots of managers, even in Oshkosh, that are currently going to school or didn't even further their education after high school. And so, you can really do any of that type of stuff. We do a lot of great in-house training and provide a lot of opportunity that way. So from a manager standpoint, you don't necessarily even need to have schooling. From a franchisee standpoint, you don't even need to have schooling. It's really about having enough financial backing to do that, and then also making sure both from the new potential franchisee standpoint that it's going to be a good fit, and also Pizza Ranch making sure that person, if they're going to come on to Pizza Ranch, is a good fit for the company.
Mm-hmm. And for now, how many different positions are at Pizza Ranch?
Well,
I know there's a cook, there's waitresses, there's probably stuff behind the scenes too.
Yeah, so from the guest standpoint, they're going to come in and they're going to see the cashier. That's going to be the first person they're going to see up at the register. Then we have servers in the dining room that are taking care of them throughout.
And if they don't like that cashier, that can really throw their experience off.
You're right. So we've got to have a friendly, smiling, happy, welcoming face up there for the first person.
So.
Yeah, so we have, and then the server, and then they'll see the people that are stocking the buffets. We have a salad bar person, a pizza buffet person, a chicken buffet person. Those people are out there working the floor. And then in the kitchen, obviously, we have dishwashers, cooks for both pizza and chicken. We also have a delivery business and a carryout business, so we'll have people strictly to answering phones, delivery drivers for delivering the food, catering as well. So,
do you guys get a lot of catering business as well?
Yeah, we do very well with catering. We do a lot of like regular gigs where we go there every week or a couple times a month on a regular schedule, and then we also get a lot of those one-time orders, whether it's graduation parties, funerals, just big family reunions, any of that type of stuff. We do lots of meals. We've done up to 500 people before in one meal. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah.
Now, how much chicken do you guys sell in an average day? I know you probably go through a lot, but
We go through a lot of chicken. Pizza Ranch has the country's best chicken. It's America's #1 delivered chicken, actually. We're almost more well known for our chicken than we are our pizza. So we go through a lot of chicken. It's hard to say what we go through on a day, but here in Oshkosh, we would probably go through, several hundred pieces in an average day. 300-400 pieces would not be a shock. We oftentimes will have.
So does chicken have a life of its own?
A life of its own?
Yeah, like at Pizza Ranch. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I mean, like, when I'm sure when the owner thought of Pizza Ranch, I'm sure that he didn't think the chicken would take off as well as it did.
Yeah, actually, when the first Pizza Ranch opened, chicken wasn't even a thing. It was introduced by a new onboarded franchisee after a few years in, and it was introduced. They said, let's try it. We tried it, and it's been around ever since. So.
Okay. What did you used to do before? Or was Pizza Ranch your first job then?
Pizza Ranch was actually my second job. I started as a dishwasher in a supper club. So I washed dishes for about 6 months and then realized that I didn't love that. And I also, it was about 25 minutes away from my house. So my parents were driving me back and forth to that all the time, and they didn't love that either. So when Pizza Ranch was opening close by us, they said, you should apply. And I was like, you know what? I'd love to try something different. And so I did. And so that was my second job. And I've done Pizza Ranch pretty much straight through. I had a little bit of experience for about a year doing some other stuff, kind of early on, just trying to, expand my portfolio a little bit. But ultimately realized Pizza Ranch is where I needed to be.
What makes the manager job what makes it unique to you? The owner, manager.
What makes it unique? I would say that every day is different. I have no 2 days that are alike. There's no predicting what's going to come onto my plate every day. There's no predicting any of that stuff. Even after 14 years, every day throws me some different surprises. And I love that challenge. It makes every day, fly by because I'm constantly doing something. I'm always busy, and I love that feeling. So.
Did you ever think that you would be a manager / co-owner when you first started? I mean, were you shy when you first started, or were you kind of always an outgoing person?
I was pretty shy. So I was actually homeschooled all the way through my sophomore year in high school. So when I first started, I was still homeschooled, and so social interaction was always a little bit different for me.
So this really opened you up?
It did. It really helped me grow as a person. I learned so much those early years. I'm still learning today, but, I learned a lot. And I would say I was not necessarily shy, but definitely needed to learn a little bit more about some social interactions. So.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the community fundraisers you guys do, because you guys also do a great thing for the community.
Yep.
As far as fundraisers go, what are some of the fundraisers that you do?
So I would say our biggest one is what we call our Community Impact Nights. And what those are is a nonprofit organization is invited to apply. And when we've selected a date with them, they would come in. We donate 10% of our dine-in sales for the evening, and they keep all the tips, cash donations left in the restaurant throughout that night. So we do those every Monday night with the exception of holidays. So, there's whatever that is, 48, 49 of them a year we do. And then sometimes if there's a really special event that we couldn't get into our Monday schedule, we may do like a Wednesday. Yesterday we did one for Lights of Christmas. It was a one-time thing where we were going to do it on a Wednesday instead of the Monday, and we raised $2,382 for the Lights of Christmas program for Northeast Wisconsin.
Now, let's say if an organization wants to come to you, how far in advance do you guys book something like that out?
So our impact nights are extremely popular. We have the rest of 2019 booked, and we've had it booked for several months. We open up our 2020 calendar in August, and at that point in time is when we're going to start accepting applications. We'll probably start calling the first people we've selected at the end of August, and then those prime dates, first pick dates are going to be filled up within that first month or two, and then we'll probably have most of 2020 filled by the end of 2019. Mm-hmm. So if you were wanting to get on our 2020 calendar, you'd have to contact us after August, but before the end of the year to really ensure you get a date.
So if they want to get 2020, and they better hurry up, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And how humbling is it to you being a manager? How has Pizza Ranch kind of changed Oshkosh or made it better? Especially those community nights.
Well, I would say Pizza Ranch has really embraced the Oshkosh community and the fact that, we know we wouldn't be here or be successful without the community wanting us to be here. And so we try and give back and say thank you in any ways we can. And these community impact nights are just a great way to do that. It's awesome to see these nonprofits come in and take this money and do so much good in the community and in the world, and we really just facilitate an avenue for them to do that. It's a great opportunity that they wouldn't have, if they were just to go set up a lemonade stand or something. I know that's an extreme example, but it's just about creating, using the position that we have and having a restaurant and being able to say thank you. Let's do something beyond ourselves.
Yeah, and like I was saying before, how does it humble you as a manager to really see those impact nights take off and have them booked for so long?
Yeah, it is extremely humbling. When we first started in Oshkosh here, it took a little bit to get people aware of it and build steam in that. So the first year or two, was about us trying to really educate people on what they were. And now that people know what they are, and not everybody does, we're still trying to get more and more people to understand what it is and come out and even support them. Just come and eat on Monday nights, but. It's just humbling because every week's a different organization. Every week we're making a different kind of an impact, and you really feel good about yourself when you go to work, and after you get done, you're like, I made a difference other than just making pizzas and chicken.
And to backtrack here a little bit, what was the driving force to bring Pizza Ranch to Oshkosh?
So, when we were looking at where we would want to do another Pizza Ranch, we came across Oshkosh. It's not too far away from where we were. We were in Green Bay prior to, and it was a growing community. It needed a concept like this. We felt anything like as good of chicken as we have. Not as great a buffet as we have. We really strived to provide a great quality product with awesome guest service, and we knew we could do that because of what we had done in Green Bay, and Oshkosh really appealed to us, and as far as a community and making it a family goes, we really felt that kind of draw from Oshkosh. My wife actually went to school here in Oshkosh prior to us opening this, and she was always like, that's just an awesome, growing, great community. It always felt nice, so.
Do you ever think, because every time I go into Pizza Ranch, it's full or half full, or do you ever think there's enough room for another Pizza Ranch in Oshkosh? Or?
Well, the thoughts definitely crossed our mind. However, I would say there's still room to grow within our four walls that we have right now.
Yeah.
And we'd really like to do that and continue to grow our business, and even outside of our four walls in our catering business, delivery business, we still have room to grow in the facility we have. And I would say, wait times are never excessive when we have a wait, and so we're doing well where we're at, and I'd hate to sacrifice, some of the focus and quality just to build another one and try and increase revenue. That's not what we're looking at.
Yeah, you're more about family.
Yeah.
when you first opened, how long of a was there a wait time? Because there's that new experience,
Yep.
and people want to come and experience the new.
There absolutely was a wait time.
Do you remember when it first opened here?
When we first opened a restaurant, I've been through a few new restaurant openings with Pizza Ranch, and it's one of those things that when you're in a management position and you're responsible for that restaurant, I kind of liken it to that time in my life was a little bit of a black hole because it kind of just disappeared because there was so much that happened.
Yeah.
I remember having lots of fun. I remember lots of really busy days, really long days. You get there first thing in the morning and you're there for 16, 18 hours and you go home and you crash and you do it again the next day. But, we were really busy when we first opened. Like you say, lots of people wanted to come try it, and it just took off. Pizza Ranch has been doing really well since then, and we've really tried to never settle for being complacent. We're always trying to do better. So
yeah, what's the most challenging thing about being a manager / owner? Is it being a people pleaser because you want to make everybody happy in a way?
I would say being a people pleaser is not the most challenging. That kind of comes naturally to a lot of the people we employ.
Yeah.
And for myself, I'm here to make a positive impact in other people's lives and make them happy and provide a great
Because
experience.
let's say you have a disgruntled customer, you still want to make that disgruntled customer happy, so maybe they can come back again. You don't want to discourage them away.
Absolutely, we want them to come back. So, yeah.
What's been your weirdest request for a pizza you've ever had?
There's been a lot.
Or what's
one unique one.
Or what's been the weirdest pizza you've ever made?
One unique one we've had several times actually, because it's actually turned into semi-popular here in our store, and we've even named it. We call it a nacho business pizza.
What's on the nacho business pizza?
So it's got a taco sauce, beef, macaroni and cheese, and taco chips, and I'll tell you what, it sounds weird, but it's delicious. So.
Yeah, having all the different combinations on there, but actually tastes pretty good.
Yep.
Tastes pretty good. So, what do you think has kept Pizza Ranch so sustainable? Is it still that family atmosphere?
I think a huge piece of it is the people. We have a great core group of staff, and we really hire players, people that are going to be memorable, like I said. And the environment we portray, the family atmosphere, the family dining, it's not something that, a lot of places still offer or execute really well, I would say.
Yeah.
We're there to embrace you, welcome you in, and have you as part of our family every day, anytime, come on down, and we're there to make friends and family out of every single person. So
now I'm going to put you on a spot.
that's okay.
How many different kind of pizzas do you guys have? And can you name them?
Well, I could name a bunch. I don't know exactly the number, so let's name a bunch of them here. So for our specialty pizzas, we'll start with the taco. We have a taco, a roundup, a stampede, Tuscan Roma, mac and cheese, chicken broccoli Alfredo, chicken bacon ranch, buffalo chicken, barbecue chicken. Let's see here. I think that's most of our specialty pizzas, and then we have a lot of create your own type stuff.
Okay.
Your standard pepperoni cheese obviously is in there as well. So.
I had a suggestion for the holidays.
Okay.
You know how you guys have the cactus bread or the dessert pizzas?
Yep.
I thought about making like a candy cane cactus bread or something with mint on it because people like their mint and stuff during holidays. It's just a suggestion.
Yeah.
Now, what do you do with a suggestion from a customer, or where does that go?
Sure. So suggestions that are voiced internally, like in person to us, we definitely would take those, and if we think it's great, or we talk about it with our staff, and if people think it's great, we would take that and then suggest it to corporate. Additionally, we have a survey that everyone's able to take whenever they visit Pizza Ranch, and oftentimes we encourage people to fill out that survey because that goes to directly to corporate and us. So it just gets more eyeballs on that particular suggestion, and the more people that suggest great stuff or have fantastic suggestions, Pizza Ranch really listens. So there's definitely opportunity for that to become a reality.
Well, Kevin, thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
This is Edward Kastner for Making It Happen. Thank you, Oshkosh.